Siphinde sikwamkele mbukeli kwi-Kids News enkosi ngokuhlala nathi kunqaphambili u-SABC 1. Kule mpelaveki izayo ngomhla we-12 ilizwe liphela liza kubhiyozela usuku lwehlabathi olugxile ekuchaseni nokusetyenziswa kwabantwana. Ukanti kwangamxhelomnye kule nyanga idlulileyo idolophu yaseThekwini ibisingathe inkomfa egxile ekupheliseni ukusetyenziswa kwabantwana. Namhlanje ke kumagumbi yosasazo sihleli kunye noThatho Mhlungu noye wanenyweba ke yokuyozimasa le nkomfa emele iphulo Let's Save the Children. Ukuze sazi banzi ngefuthe lale nyewe yokusetyenziswa kwabantwana, masincokole naye uThatho. Welcome to the show, Thato.
Thank you very much. I feel very honored to be on the show.
It's absolutely a pleasure. So okokuqala mntase kasixelele, who is Thato?
Thato is the 2019 Speaker of the Nelson Mandela Children's Parliament as well as the Gauteng Child Ambassador. But Thato originally upuma from Save the Children South Africa, which is an international organization. She's a child human rights defender.
That's nice. Yes, Queen. You are queening actually. Masithethe ngale nkomfa ibisenzeka eThekwini. Child labor, of course, was the topic of the day. How was it for wena?
Yo, the conference, I'm not gonna lie, it was nerve-wracking. Yeah, especially the fact that I was doing opening statement and like all eyes were on me. So it was very nerve-wracking, but it was very nice because I learned a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie.
Speaking of izinto zifundileyo, ndiyafuna into bana ukuxelele neskimi esimameleyo namhlanje intoba how would you define child labor, and maybe just give us a practical example of what child labor is all about?
Okay, child labor, I would define it as any form of work. Ethatha umntwana imkhiphe esikoleni, and also it drops the child of childhood yakhe. So akakwazi ukuthi abe ngumntwana njengezinye ingane. So I would define child labor as any form of hazardous work that actually ithatha right yomntana ukuthi abe esikolweni.
That's impeccable. Inhlondo leyo. All right, siphinde sibuyele kule nkomfa, the conference. Mhlawumbi zikhona izinto zifundileyo ebezithethwa nebezikhankanywa phayana. Just briefly tell us about what you learned there.
Okay, firstly, I'm not gonna lie, I have to mention this because it was the highlight. When we were there, we actually, because it was children from all over the world, we learned an Indian song.
Okay.
Yes, we learned an Indian song.
Just the chorus, Nyana, that you remember?
Okay. Nikal pare, nikal pare, nikal pare. So that was the song. And also we learned a lot of things because in the conference we actually had other kids who were actually subjected to child labor, victims of child labor. So we learned a lot. We learned of the organizations that were there that were actually, that we can, as abantwana, can go to when we see things like child labor and all those kind of things. So we learned where and how to report such things.
All right, that's nice. So ndiyafuna ke ngoku into bana ukuphinda uxelele neskimi esibukeleyo into bana xa ucinga wena, why is it important for bana sikwazi ukuziprotecta as izkim as abantwana from child labor?
There's a saying that says, isn't it better to fix young people than to mend broken older people?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think we should just invest in protecting abantwana namalungelo abo, because it's been clearly stipulated in the Constitution we should protect kids and their rights, and also we have Chapter 9 institutions that actually speaks to the protection of children. Kids should survive, kids should develop, kids should be educated. So it's very, very, very pertinent that we actually protect the rights of children, for them to actually develop as children and to be the future leaders of this country.
Absolutely. Ndiyakuva uthetha ngamalungelo kwakunye ne-Chapter 9 institutions. So ndinomdla wokwazi into ba wena xa ucinga urhulumente angazama njani ukunceda to address child labor?
Urhulumente, we acknowledge the structures that are already there asewakhona to deal with to protect abantwana. But then, however, we feel that there should be a strengthening of these systems that are already in place, whereby we know as children when I go to a police station and I see someone who's a victim of child labor, when I get there, ngizothola like any psychosocial support as a victim, or as umungani we victim, you know. And also, is the environment child friendly for me to actually say I see this and this is what is happening, and is there any action that's going to be taken, more especially if child labor is parent inflicted,
like we spoke about.
Like we spoke, yes.
Yeah, all right. Yes. Lastly, in closing, I want you indobana njengoba nje sinodliwano ndlebe nje ukuphose nawe sivivaneni amazwi wakho nje that you want to say to abantwana about child labor.
So what I'm going to say about child labor is that ukuthi as umntwana sometimes ekhaya endlini bangakuthuma kaningi ngosuku and you think ukuthi it's a norm because in Sesotho we say lifura la ngwana ke go gongwa so umsebenzi womntwana ukuthi nje athunywe so sometimes that hinders you as ukuthi ungayenzi ungafundi ungakwazi ukuthi ube focused esikoleni. Sometimes we have parents abarana ama-sheep beans and all that and sometimes abantwana have to step in to take care of business yalapha ekhaya. So as a child, know ukuthi whatever mawubona ngazuthi like you are being abused ekhaya and it's child labor and all those kind of things, just go and report. And I would also like to stress this ukuthi government should ensure ukuthi people on the ground locally know ukuthi what is child labor, because there are cases whereby a parent doesn't know ukuthi when's child labor and the kid doesn't know. So it needs it has to go back to educating society on child labor before kids can actually report, because I could be a victim but I don't know what I'm a victim.
Yeah, ungakwazi uba liqhoba kodwa ungayazi lonto leyo. Thato, it's such an absolute pleasure to have you kunye nathi studio. Enkosi kakhulu for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
Absolutely. Ayike mbukeli, sisachophele kanye lo mba wokusetyenziswa kwabantwana. Ndiyafuna ke into kokubana ukhuva into ba wena uthini na apho ekhaya mayelana nalomba.
I believe that child protection is important to the household and the community, because we as children need to know and make sure that we are 100% safe.
At conferences, parents are empowered and be able to protect their kids.
Ukwenza umsebenzi wabantu abadala akulula, kuyagqilaza. Lokhu kungadala izinto ezingalungile ekukhuleni nasekuphileni komntwana.
Nami ngiyengaba i-victim e-HIV. I-victim e-HIV lapho khona was forced to do umsebenzi ongengalanga. Ebo nakhuzwa ngaleso sikhathi ngangakazi ukuthi i-child labor is illegal la e-South Africa. Until ngathola ulwazi kubo nakhuzwa kwabo othisha bami.
Ngicabanga ukuthi akukho right ukuthi ingane isebenze isancane ingaphansi kwa-18 years, ngoba uma isebenza ingaphansi kwa-18 years ngeke izibone ngisho beyihlukumeza.
I guess ke msamo okwalomzuzu sisizawuthi tsi qatha pha entengesweni.